we chew it before we go into the courts. Now, I have heard what my brother said strongly, saying and talking with a lot of punctuations and additions. But he knows there are no rules which do not come from a certain law. The rules come from a certain law to enhance it, to buttress it. It is good if you propose that we can also amend the rules. Right now, they are working on that in Parliament. The Rules Committee have been sitting for I think 2-3 weeks to try to engage and see how they can amend the rules. So your proposition already is being taken care of. Now, the political models. I think Africans are still stuck with the colonial mentality. We are still stuck there. We can also create our own model, and we run by it. Like I've given you an example that in Ghana, they are using a system which I'm talking about, but they are running smoothly. And actually, I see, wait a minute, I finish. I see all Africans running to Ghana to see how they do their politics and their democracy. They run there. Why? Because the Ghanaians allowed in their mind that we can form a system and run by it for ourselves. And I think that is what we should copy. We should not say we are stuck with the system from UK or America. We can also form our own and run by it. And I don't think that is a problem, because if we fail to think like the British or the Americans, it is a problem. It isn't. The people in Pakistan run away from the presidential system because their politics is too far different from ours. They have been facing all kinds of problems. And my propositions cannot cause fire in Parliament. You went to court yourself because you decided that now this is unfair. We should solve it like this. Had you not gone there, we would not be having a slot in the East African Parliament. But because you went there, you urged the case, and we got that slot. Now, it is the same way I am doing my things. Those things which are fresh, those things which are new, should also be introduced here, because our political sphere, our political landscape is too far different, so unique from where we copied actually the political systems, especially in England. Ours is a new one. Because if you go to England, yes, it's called the lead of minority. The same way it is in Ghana, it's called the lead of minority.
Even in Kenya.
Even in Kenya. But they have coalitions. Our coalition in the parliament is implied. It is implied. Why am I saying so? Because the moment you are not in a government, you are automatically on the other side. What Honorable Mbide is saying that, no, if there is a lead of minority in parliament who is called lead of opposition, you shall keep quiet. You shall not say anything. What I'm saying, that is not right. I am saying that, yes, because also they voted for me. They voted for me. They voted for other parties. Actually, if your argument is that one, when you add up all opposition members in parliament who are not the NUP, we are larger than in number. So if now we are going with what you are saying, now that will be another chaos. Because if it is coalition, we say, now let's make a coalition.
Yeah, maybe you misunderstood me.
Since
you
so
are still
don't you think...
Let me tell you, then you inform you, then you still continue.
Okay.
The same way that minority leader is appointed is the same way parties appoint party whips. Not by election. You don't go there and you begin assuming positions of authority in a multi-party political dispensation. It is the party. The same way you guys should be, because there is no coalition. So this one of Ghana, I don't know what you mean, but it's a two-party political system. it is a presidential, parliamentary political system, and your law cannot touch it, because that one now requires government. So that's why I
No, so you are agreeing with me that
No,
there is
I'm disagreeing.
there is a problem.
Honorable.
There is a problem, but for you are saying it should only be brought by government. That is what you are saying.
That is the constitution.
Okay, that is what you are saying, and I have no problem with it. Now, on the issue of the
I think this one
there were
this
so
one
many
was quite,
questions.
This one was quite hot,
Yeah, there were so many questions.
and I think it is only fair
Yeah,
that he tackles it.
yeah, there are so many questions.
It was a rapid fire,
Yeah.
which requires a
Now,
response.
on the issue of the commissioners, for example, the law provides for some commissioners when elected. Actually, the speaker comes in as the chair of the commission after being elected a speaker. You cannot chair that commission before you are elected. So what I'm talking about is election.
And the Prime Minister.
Wait a minute. The 4 commissioners, the backbench commissioners, are the commissioners who take care of all the MPs behind there. Okay? We are saying, okay, the government has 3. The opposition party with the largest majority in opposition has 1. My proposition is that also the others can have 1 elected. And actually, when you read that law, it talks about electing them. That's what it says, election. What has now been changed? It is appointment. Well, you can read that. It says election. So now, what I'm fighting, if the law says elect, do the elections. If the law does not tell you that, then do otherwise. Another thing, when you come to the committee, you can give those propositions of appointment. Because if we don't remove the law as it is, other people will come to give it another shot. That now there is unfairness here. Whoever suggested elections had a reason why election in a presidential system that like we have here. He had a reason. He did not wake up without a reason. He had a reason. Because our political dispensation and space is too far different from others. Uganda's political system is actually different. If you read in that constitution, there are systems called the movement, which was removed.
Yes.
I have never heard of it anyway. It is only in Uganda. So we can have a thing of our own and also promote it. When will people come to copy our system? When we are copying from them, they can come and copy this one from Uganda, and it does no harm at all. So you should not fear some kind of change. You shouldn't. The change must be there because we are progressing every other day. You should not be afraid. Lastly is vetting. I think you talked about the vetting because I was proposing also for vetting of cabinet ministers by all the political
Opposition ministers
caucus.
only?
Yeah, opposition ministers. Because the vetting takes place the other side. You were asking
But
that why is it?
Let me ask you.
Let me finish.
The
yeah.
vetting of the cabinet ministers, where is it written?
But it is done, isn't it done?
Yes, but where?
Is there a committee?
No, I'm asking.
Is there a committee
I want you to tell us.
appointments committee? Is
Honorable
it there?
If you came to consult, it's fine.
You know?
If you came to lecture, it is also fine.
No,
Because
I think
if you have predetermined position, we will carry ours.
Let us listen to each other.
Yeah. The whole thing is there is a committee which you know.
I know, but it is under the rules. So,
Oh,
why
so
do you
even
put
if it
this
is
one
in
under
the
act?
rules, it is okay.
I wanted to clarify.
It is okay.
But to keep focus,
These 2 lawyers, you guys.
it is important that Honorable Lumu
Thank you,
responds to
Ajwika.
the issues that have been raised. And I hope you will also respond to what has been stated by people like Dr. Besigye. they say, okay, there's a problem, but why don't we just make the number 2 presidential candidate an automatic MP?
By the way, it is because I'm avoiding that because it needs a constitutional amendment. Yes. But it was my first proposition. Actually, this one is the second option. And to take you through, I am proposing that the first run-up, if it gets a certain vote mark, let me say if the winner has gotten 5 million, and the first run-up gets 2.5 million votes, I'm proposing he automatically takes the seat as an ex-official. But when you look at, I think, Article 75, it brings in the contents of the parliament, who is supposed to be in parliament. So you cannot bring it here. You have to amend
what if
the constitution.
You brought in a proposal? You know, even in the 80s, there was a proposal for nominated MPs. So in that case, now Bobby Wine would nominate himself. He would sit in a meeting and then he nominates, so that he is not just being given ex officio, so it is a proper seat. For us, we want to broaden the debate because we have to shield you from those who want to bastardize the debate also. Those who want to bastardize the debate are just in a power play, as usual. So, whether it needs a constitutional amendment or not, I believe we shall engage again before you finally table the bill, because even us, we had not internalized all these things that you have spoken about. Let me tell you why attacks are coming to you. The attacks are coming from extreme elements in Uganda. The extremists who are saying in 1 month the regime change fundamentalists. So for them, they are saying no. Now they are even putting words into your mouth that the entire parliament is going to vote the leader of opposition. So they are now saying NRM yegendo tulondera leader of opposition, and they are pinning it on you. For us, at least, we have been saying, as Democrats, we believe that Ugandans went and gave marks and said Museveni, Chagulanyi, Mao is there with his F9s. Like Katolu Bwama used to say, Emienda Jijo, Munana. So, we are saying that there's need to think about what they call the official opposition, the leader of the official opposition. And the official opposition is elected in the general election. That's the official opposition party, which is recognized. Now, the opposition now includes everybody who is not the ruling party. I don't know what the Constitution says. I've tried to look for a soft copy I haven't seen. But I think the Constitution says something about official opposition.
Yeah. It says official opposition, and it defines a party with the majority.
That is 82A.
Hey,
That's 82A. Yeah. It was amended up,
2006.
Yeah, because the truth is that we have a problem, and we must find a solution to it. Then what you called, Honorable Mbi, they called it winner take all, you called it domination. Now, in a democracy, you try to tame domination. Now, other people think you are solving the problem which was manifested in the Mpoga, Chagulanyi kind of tension, which is not new. Remember, there was Benedicto Chiwanuka around me.
It is nature, it is allowed also.
So, it has now gone there. So, when Ben was in the election of 1962, Bataringaya went and basically started saying, well, I am the one who is known by the country. So there was that tension. So some people mistakenly think that's the problem you are trying to cure.
And it is important that
I really feel this is not what we need now. And you can imagine why you have now faced a lot of media and social media bollocks. It is because people feel this is majorly an intended capture of the remains of opposition power from the party that came second to NRM. That is what they believe. Why? Because independents are members of opposition. Even the law recognizes that Administration of Parliaments Act. When they are creating centers for that act, particularly the section that creates the leader of opposition, the center on consultation, and I think that is Article 82 when it was being amended in 2006, it provides that the centers for consultation include political parties and independents. Number two, Political Parties and Organizations Act says that the winner of an election, which is a political party, forms government, meaning the rest are not members of the opposition, not members of government, members of the opposition. Now, once you establish that an election of leader of opposition takes place, the voters are going to be members of opposition political parties and independents, and they outnumber you. So people know that the calculation is clear, and they are basing their calculation, by the way, on the current members of parliament. Yet the law will not apply to them. But they know what will happen. In Uganda, before an election commences, because amendments were not done as DP proposed, both by propositions and by the cooperation agreement, because it was not followed, we know who will win the next election. Now, if we know who will win, we know who will lose. And those who will lose don't want an election. Because this is the country. We are not living like a frog that lives in a pot of water and begins to think that the size of the sky is the size of the mouth of the pot. No. We know what happens, and this is the party of brain power. That is why the all and sundry of opposition are opposing this act. For me, they oppose it under Segona, they will oppose it under you. But why